Welcome to another episode of the Alignment Podcast. Really excited to have Jimmy here with us today. Thanks for coming on the show, Jimmy.
Thanks, Jacob. Thanks for having me. Really excited to be here today.
Yeah, to get started, I'd love if you told us a little bit about, your story, where you've been, what you're most excited about, and where you're going in the future.
Sure. I'm originally from Taiwan. I came to Oklahoma back in 2012 as an international student. I graduated with a law degree and an MBA degree, only to discover that I was pretty much unhireable because of my international student status. Every time I check the box, will you now or in the future require a work visa? I am honest. So I say, yes, I might require a work visa. And then 5 minutes later, I get an email notifying me that I wasn't qualified. And sometimes even for jobs that I was clearly overqualified for, I'll still get the same email saying that, sorry, you're not qualified, simply because I checked that question in the box. So fortunately, I was able to discover an E2 visa, which allowed me to invest into my own business, to start my own, to stay here. So my journey has been going from unhireable to now employing 19 other people in the firm, many of whom are Americans. So that's kind of my journey right now. What I'm excited is that even though I'm a non-immigrant myself, I'm an immigration attorney helping my clients with their green cards and citizenships to achieve their American dream. And for my law firm side of things, we service only Oklahomans, but immigration, we service nationwide and globally. And I see that on the Oklahoma state side, even though it's not immigration, I see their outcomes as their American dream. So if they're going through a divorce or if they're going through a messy probate litigation, their American dream is simply whatever the outcome they desire. So I see that as like my firm is helping others achieve their version of American dream, just like how I'm currently on my own path to maybe one day achieving my own American dream. So that's what I'm most excited about right now.
That is so cool. That is really inspiring. And I think it's the journey that's inspiring because as you're talking about American dreams and you tell this story of, facing all this rejection because of some reason and then literally turning that reason into how you've been able to build and apparently find, extreme fulfillment in that. That is the American dream. You're there, Jimmy. You're living it more than most people who are born here because you're helping others in them finding success. And congrats.
Thank you. Yeah.
That's so awesome.
Thanks. I'm really blessed to be in the position to be able to help others. Not many are fortunate to be able to be in the kind of position to be able to help others. So I'm really blessed and, I'm grateful for this opportunity to be able to service other people.
That's so cool. You said you have 19 people in your company right now.
Yes, correct.
How are they all equally excited about helping other people realize their American dreams as well?
Yeah, that's kind of what we try to do with our recruitment, and maybe jumping around a little bit. That's one of the reasons why I'm so active on LinkedIn. It's not just to sign clients. Well, so multifaceted factors are signing up, getting more clients, building my personal brand out, getting people to know more about me, but also it's a recruitment strategy. I saw a post by another attorney, Christopher Yearly, that when he was interviewing a prospective employee and he asked the question, why do you want to come work for us? And they answered that because they read his LinkedIn posts and they decided that they really wanted to work for Chris. So that's kind of my strategy that I'm emulating, is have my posts out there to show people what I'm building. A little bit of aspect about building in public, how I run the organization, how our team service our clients so that they understand what we are all about. And when we try to recruit, we try to find people that are aligned with our core values. And I believe that one of the core values that really makes us stand apart is the core value of empathy, being able to kind of understand what they're going through and trying our best to, if we can't help them, to at least point them in the right direction. So I think that's kind of what differentiates us, because people don't like talking to lawyers. They prefer not to have to speak to a lawyer. And if they do need a lawyer, it's because they have a legal problem. It's never because they want to call to celebrate. We just purchased this brand new house, or we just got hired for this job. You're never calling a lawyer for, usually not for happy things, right? So when people call lawyers, it's always, they have a serious issue going on. They're highly stressed. So we want to have our staff members embody that core value.
How did, as you're saying that, it makes me think about kind of the contrast between you graduate from school and you're looking for jobs, and you being honest and checking a box means you get no empathy and no time, no consideration, versus now where you're going on the total opposite of like, hey, we're actually trying to humanize this as much as possible and help people feel like you actually matter independent of your situation. How does it feel that you've you've taken this approach entirely differently? Was that on purpose or just natural?
I think I'm naturally, throughout my life, I've always been more of an empathetic type of person that I put themselves in their shoes sometimes and try to understand what they're going through. So all the decisions I make, I try to understand others first. And so that's kind of my approach my whole life. And obviously, when I've been going through the job, like you said, answering that question really affected my job prospects. So I think I'm using kind of that approach, that feeling of not getting the time of day for even an interview opportunity to can make sure that when people reach out to us, to our law firm, that they don't feel the same way. That even if they don't have the funds to hire us, that at least we give them a little bit of time a day to share their story of what's going on and at least point them in the right direction. Like, hey, there's this legal aid office that, can potentially help with your issue. Or there's this other Christian legal clinic that we know about that you could potentially go and reach out because you may qualify for their services. Or, hey, here's this link that legal aid has that you can pretty much explains how you can do it yourself, say if you're unable to hire a lawyer.
That's awesome. Um, what does being empathetic do for your business?
I think it also translates to our own staff members feeling like that, management and myself, we actually care for them. We want what's best for them. It's not only about making money or generating revenue, it's also understanding what their goals are, what they want to achieve in their life. And so when I talk about the American dream, it's not only just trying to help our clients achieve their version of American dream. I see my time and efforts as also trying to contribute to our own staff's American dream. So I think that's how we've grown pretty fast, is that they understand that when the company wins, it's not just me winning. Even though I'm the owner and my firm partner are co-owners, it's not just us winning, it's everyone winning together. And that's the kind of culture we're trying to build. And I believe that's how we've pretty fast over time. So as you mentioned, 19 staff, mostly full-time, some part-time, and we do have some virtual assistants that are in the Philippines and South America.
That's awesome. How easy is it to find people who align with the culture you're trying to build?
Not easy, frankly, not easy. However, we do like using the tool DISC, and
Yeah,
we say, there's no right or wrong answers, but just for us to get to know your communication style. And so we can kind of try to understand how we can work together well. And we try to ask questions to gauge how they might perform or how they might act in certain situations. So we might ask some situational questions to say, okay, if you're faced with this, how would you solve this problem? So we just kind of want to see how they would deal with particular situations, because it's definitely true when they say more people, more problems. Obviously not. In the organization as we grow, not everyone may be aligned, or previous versions of our team may be aligned. But then as you add more people, it might get misaligned. So I really like your company name, Higher Aligned. It's all about alignment, like getting the staff members and team members aligned to our common vision and mission. And that's something that I'm still working on. I won't say I'm good at it yet, but that's something that we're working on to really instill the core values, our mission and vision.
yeah. I mean, anybody who tells you that they have it figured out is lying because it's an ongoing thing. If it was everything was static and the world around was everybody just like lived at work. If it was like Real Life Severance, that TV show where they're all like different people at work, maybe it would be easy to like align forever. But there's always things that are changing, and so it's a continual thing. Even if you find people who are aligned with the culture to hire them, it's always going to be a how do you grow together? Yeah, I like how you said more people, more problems. People are always it's always the hardest part of business, and it's always the most fulfilling part. Are the relationships of how do you work together to build something that impacts people for hopefully a net positive way in the world.
Yeah, definitely. It's lots of responsibility as a business owner, because there are livelihoods are in your hands. So that's definitely a lot of stress and challenges for myself to kind of make sure that the trust and the belief in our company they place in us are not wasted. So that's a lot of pressure us as the business owners. But like you said, like if we can care more for them and uh, make sure that they're in alignment with our mission, I think it will improve the overall
Yeah. How did you and your partner align on what you wanted to build in the first place?
I think one method that really helped us was just sitting down, getting together, and talking through our 3-year Vivid Vision. So we were part of this coaching program, and they told us to start with the 3-year Vivid Vision. Like, where do you see yourself in 3 years? What do you see the firm doing in 3 years? And I was quite ambitious. I put down. So we did this in 2024, and I said by the end of 2027, the 3-year Vivid Vision is for this law firm to be at 8 figures. So that's the vision. And we're like, okay, so if that's our goal, then we just need to work backwards to see how we can achieve that. And so I think right now, the first step was to double from 2024. So we've been able to do that. We doubled from 2024 to 25. We doubled. Next year, we're going to have to try to double or 2.5x what we're currently doing, and then figure out how to double again to reach the 8 figures in the next 2 years. So that 3-year vision really helps. And I need to also kind of, as part of the recruitment process, I need to start doing that more. We've done it with some of our recruits. We show them the 3-year vision, and then we ask them where do they see themselves along the process. Like, this is where we're trying to take our company, and where do you see you fitting in the piece of this journey, and where you think you can be the most efficient in getting us to that goal.
That's unique. I think that's really cool because not only are you helping people, are you interested in making sure that, somebody's a good fit for you, but you're helping them be more of an active selector in the process of, empowering them and even if it's just cognitive ownership, you're like letting them see, hey, here's what we're doing. Are you along for the ride?
Yeah, and that's been my philosophy of running a business. I always wanted everyone to have some sort of ownership, even though they might not have equity, but I want them to feel like they own part of the business. So I have incentive structures and bonus structures in place where, hey, we achieve certain goals. Here are additional financial incentives, or, we give an extra day off here or there. And so that's what I'm trying to build, is the feeling of, yes, your name might not be on the company door, having that feeling like you are a part of this company.
That's awesome. Well, I'm really excited to watch you double next year and be an 8-figure business by the end of 2027.
Hopefully so. It's a long road ahead. And as you know, running a business is a roller coaster.
Yeah, but I think it's a fulfilling one. Not to say easy in any way, but very fulfilling.
Definitely. Yeah. When I graduated, actually, I wanted to just clock in and clock out. I wanted to live that 9 to 5 life, clock out and don't worry about anything. And the next day, clock in, clock out. That's the life I wanted, actually. But because of the situation, I couldn't get hired, and I was forced to be in entrepreneurship, start my own business. I don't regret that at all. Now I'm really enjoying it, and it's really rewarding. Gives me the flexibility to really do business the way I want to do business.
That's awesome. Well, thanks so much for your time, Jimmy. I'm very grateful for the world of LinkedIn that, connects me with people like you. I know you had some hot takes on cheese before, but, it's exciting to hear about the empathetic approach you're taking. And I think that's going to be one of the things that helps you win as you help other people realize their American dreams. So congrats and thank you.
Thanks for having me. Yeah, and if no one knows what Jacob's talking about cheese, you guys can check out my LinkedIn post and you can find out more about cheese.
Awesome. Thanks, Jimmy.
Thank you.